to my channel. If this is your first time here, it is not welcome back. It is welcome, and I hope you are here to stay. For those of you who have tuned in before, welcome back. I'm here. I said I was going to take a break, but I am here. And let's get into it, right? Happy New Year's. Happy New Year, and I hope that your New Year was, your New Year celebration was good, was safe. Mine kind of turned into just chilling at home and barely making it to watch the ball drop and just keeping within my distance and staying safe. But for everybody else, I hope that everything was good for you. I hope your holiday season was great. I hope everything is going well in terms of your New Year. I hope you're out there staying safe, keeping your mask on, distancing. And if you're not, don't let me tell you what to do. It's your life. Live your life the way you see fit. You have been to my channel before. You know that I pull cards. And I pull cards from one of two decks, but today I'm going to be pulling from both of them. The first deck is the Make Yourself a Priority deck. Self-care in a box. And then we have the Make Today Magical. And these are positive affirmations. I shuffle these prior to the video, but I do not look at them until we get ready to film, so we can all go through it together, right? So I am going to pull the card from the Make Yourself a Priority deck first. And let's see what we got. Okay, so this is like one of the things that I like to do anyway. So I didn't even know this would technically count as self-care, but now that I know, I've been doing self-care and didn't even realize it. Okay, all right. So from the Make Yourself a Priority deck, watch a relaxing movie. Immerse yourself completely in the experience. Right? So before Rona hit in when it was a complete shutdown, like when you couldn't go nowhere, like 2 years ago. Can y'all believe we've been in a pandemic for 2 years? But let's not get into that, because I don't even know how the YouTube algorithm picked that up. Like, I ain't giving no false information. I'm just talking. Okay, algorithm. Go to the movies every single weekend. Now I don't do it as much just because of the fact that we are, with everything going on right now. But I used to love just going to a movie, being engulfed into the movie, not checking your phone, not checking your text messages, putting that thing on D&D, and just really just being in there, and then like talking about it afterwards and all that. It was great. I still do that now, but at home. So, for those of you who don't like going to the movies, because I know everybody don't like going to the movies and sitting down, whatever, like that may not be your thing. But if you do not want to go outside because of COVID, or whatever reason, maybe because you just don't like people, hit up a Netflix, a Hulu, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, and take an hour out your day, 2 hours max. Because I think really, unless you're watching like a DC Marvel movie, most movies are only about like an hour 45 at that. And just get into the story. Like, I watched a movie recently on Disney Plus. I think it was called Encantado. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. But I'll put it up here. And it was a good movie. I ain't even gonna front you. It was a really good movie. I think it's the same animators of Coco. So if you like Coco, you will like this movie. If I put it here or here. But you will like it. So I'm gonna just put that tidbit out there, that is one recommendation that you can do. So we're gonna get to Make Today Magical. So I like this one, and I feel like this one. I feel like I say this about every card that I pull for my videos, but who knows? The spirit just might be, watching over and just be like, "Girl, I'm gonna give you like a little boost for your video, so that way those watching can get this too," right? So it is, I am the author of my own story, right? And we're gonna get into that, right? So what we're gonna talk about today, I feel like that's a good segue, so let's get into it. All right, so how are y'all feeling, right? Like, are y'all feeling good? Are y'all good? Are y'all making sure that your health good, your mental health good? Are you making sure you're going outside, getting enough fresh air? enough sunlight depending on where you live. I know it's winter and Jersey has been very like dim and droopy and weary and all that, so it is kind of hard. But go outside and get some fresh air, even if it's like for 5-10 minutes. And I'm talking to myself too. So get some fresh air, get your vitamin C, your vitamin D, get your immune system up, make sure you are good. Okay. All right. Looking down, I'm sorry, I do have my notes here, so I just want to make sure that I am on track. I do not want this video to keep going on and on and on, so I got this here. So yeah. How am I feeling? I feel good. I know in the last video that I did for the 30-day update, I was saying that, you know, I was just kind of not feeling it. I was very like down-ish, like in terms of energy wise. But I do feel better. I do feel like my energy is getting a little bit better. I do feel like I'm kind of getting back into the my new normalcy of myself and just working through it. And I feel like overall I feel better. I am starting to feel better, which is a good way to kick off the new year, if you ask me, right? And also, like, in terms of the new year and this new journey that I'm going through, you know, I'm also not alone. I do have 2 other friends who got the same surgery as me, so we are all a lifeline. Maybe not like collectively, because I know them, they do know each other ish. You get what I'm saying, like but I have like a little like connection line here, you know, so we good, we all good, we all doing things differently for the new year. We're all prepping for the new year. One of the people that I am referencing to does have a YouTube channel, but I do not know if they want me to put that information out there. So if you are watching it, girl, let me know if you want to know, if you want me to put you here. I got you. Okay. Looking at the bigger picture, and I think I owe an apology to a few people out there, because I remember in one of these videos, and if you go back to like my old videos, I think it was like thoughts on getting surgery or something like that. I ain't have that many videos, so if you go back through them, excuse me, hell, watch them all if you can. Help me get them views, right? And if you go through the videos, there is a video where I do reference that when discussing my feelings prior to the surgery, and people were telling me that I was going to change, and I got very hesitant, very annoyed by the statement, and I got very defensive off of that statement that I was going to change. However, now, going through the motions of the surgery, just thinking about like overall outcome, thinking about like where I am right now, you know, and I agree. So I do owe them like an apology. I'm sorry. That's your apology. I'm gonna get better, because I am going to change. And I feel like now, understanding what I understand now, it is only right but to change, because I didn't go through the entire process. I didn't go through the pain of the surgery. I didn't go through the pretty much me uprooting my life and what I understood to be my reality, and then changing into this and shifting into this new reality for me to be the same girl that I was then. It just doesn't make sense. Like, now that doesn't say that the core of who I am is going to change, because I don't want that to change. That is the most important part of me. So I'm going to keep that. But there are things about me that I do feel like no longer suits me anymore, and they need to go. Right? So if you feel me, you feel me. If you don't, you don't. But your girl gonna change, and I'm not gonna feel bad for it at all, you know? It is the new year, right? So the whole new year, new me. I know that sounds familiar to like a lot of people. That is the typical, you know, it is a new year and you need to get on your shit, right? But I don't have any New Year's resolutions, right? And hold on, because I already know what you're about to say. Like, how can you say you want to change and you don't got no resolutions? Hear me out. So let's dial it back a little bit, right? And I'm also talking to me too, so don't think I'm attacking nobody, because I definitely have done the same. So have you ever wondered why, the New Year's will roll around and you'll have all these grand expectations for yourself to accomplish, whether it was losing weight, whether it was getting a new hobby, working on a hobby that you already have, maybe changing your career, whatever. You had something in mind for yourself that you were deemed to execute, whether it was a few months, by the end of the year, or whatever, and it fell short for whatever reason, right? So let's look at it in terms of a grand picture. You want to lose weight, because my channel is mostly about like losing weight, and also just talking about like the mentality behind that and giving you my point of view. So we're gonna stick on that, right? You want to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year. So what you do is you have that thought, I'm losing 100 pounds by the end of the year, and you go to Planet Fitness and you spend $10-$20 on the gym membership, and you go to Whole Foods, you go to Trader Joe's, you go to ShopRite, and you buy all non-GMO, no snacks, all veggies, fruit, proteins, like all this stuff that you never had a day in your life, that was not even a part of your reality at any point in your life. And you bring it back home, you stick to this strict diet, and you find this workout regimen, and you try to follow it for, let's say, maximum of 2 weeks. Let's say you make it 2 weeks out the month. And then the next 2 weeks, you don't do it because you don't feel like it no more. You stop buying the stuff that you were buying at Whole Foods. You start like incorporating the junk again. You start incorporating the sweets, sodas, candies, cakes, pies, all that stuff that you was eating before. You start making your trip to Popeyes and getting chicken sandwich and all that other stuff. You get what I'm saying, right? And then, February rolls around. You might do it a little bit. You're not really as consistent. March rolls around. April, May, June, and now it is the summertime, and you're sitting there looking at yourself like, what the hell happened? And then you make the excuse, well, I'm gonna do it in the winter. I'm gonna work in the summer, and then I'm gonna do it in the winter. Then the winter rolls around, and then it's time for New Year's. Oh, I'm gonna do it next year, and then next year, then you're in this toxic, consistent cycle where you're constantly telling yourself you're going to do it here, you're going to do it then, you're going to do it then, and then you're trying to figure out like, where is my motivation, where is my determination, how come I don't feel the same way that I felt January 1st when February 12th rolls around, how come I can't stick to it? And it's always these like whys, right? And it's because this wasn't a part of your lifestyle. Okay? This wasn't your life. You ain't never picked up a dumbbell before, but you thought that you was going to be able to do a whole workout routine that you paid for or found online and go to Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, whatever other gym, Blink, and being able to do this for 30 days straight. Now, I'm not saying there's people that can't do it. And for those who can, just uproot your life and do a whole 180, more power to you. But I'm talking about the collective. And for the majority, it don't work like that. Unless you have somebody in your quarter constantly pushing you. And even then, you're an adult. You're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day, no matter who's out there telling you what you should do. So, to go back to what I was saying in terms of that, like, making smaller steps is more beneficial than that, because you can always have the thought that, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It doesn't take that much effort to think something, but it is the first step that you need to accomplish in order to do something. So manifesting that thought and having that first thought that this is what I want for myself, this is what I'm going to do with my life, or this is the lifestyle that I want to live now. It's a thought. But finding the actions to manifest that thought is the harder part. Because then you have to find what you need to do in your life, what no longer suits in your life, what changes you will have to make in your life in order to incorporate that thought and manifest that thought into your current reality. So taking the biggest step is taking it from here and incorporating it into your life. And that's also the hardest step, right? So taking these smaller chunks. So for me, I am very fixated on the scale. And even after me getting out of surgery, the nurse told me, do not, and I repeat, do not, when you get home, get on that scale every single day. And guess what the hell I did? Got on that scale every single day because I wanted to see that number go down. And because, you know, you're on a liquid diet, you're not eating anything. You don't really have any calories of it, whatever. So like the weight was coming down, and it was coming down pretty fast. And I was happy to see that. But now that I am incorporating real food into my diet, and also the first 30 days is when you lose the bulk of your weight, the fastest of the weight anyway, because of the fact of being so restrictive. You know, I was just like, okay, well, why ain't lose 10 pounds in a week? Like, that's not going to be my reality anymore. It might be, but it's also not, you know, the expectation anymore to lose like that type of weight. So I know for me now, what I have developed is, like, right now I am 332.8, right? So instead of just being like, oh, well, I want to be, okay, let's say I want to be 300 flat. Like, I want to be 300 flat. Like, damn, I got 32 pounds to lose. Like, that's a lot. Let's frame that a little bit differently, right? So now what I do, I get on a scale that says 332.8. And I'm just like, okay, well, if I lose 2.8 pounds, which is more realistic to lose within a week, you know, then I'll be at 330, right? And then from there, if I lose another 2 pounds, I'll be at 328. And then if I lose another 1 pound, I'll be at 327 point whatever. And as you look at it like that, it shows that these goals are more obtainable than saying, oh, I want to be 30 pounds lighter in this fixated amount of time. Break it down. Break it into little chunks, because that's more realistic. Because what's going to happen is you have these thoughts and expectations of how fast something's supposed to be and how big these goals are, and you're going to shut down. Your brain's going to shut down, because this is not you. This is not your lifestyle. You have never done any of these things before, and your brain is just like, girl, what is you doing? What is this? Like, we don't do this. This is not us. This is not you. You acting real out of character right now. You have to give yourself time to adjust to the person that you're trying to become. And I needed that. I needed to learn that. And it's unfortunate that it took this much for me to learn something just that simple. And it does. And I don't want to minimize this and make it too simplistic, but the reality of the situation is it is. And this is where how you maintain consistency, because there's these smaller goals that you keep chipping off as a while. Like, think of it like a chisel. Like, eventually, as you keep chipping off the boulder, you're going to mold that creation that you want to do. But if you just take it and you bang the hammer, it's just going to break and fall apart. All right. So hopefully that resonated with somebody. For whoever that needs to resonate with, I hope you got that message. And if you need to play this back again, if you didn't get it the first time, or you feel like you get it, but you just need some time to let that marinate into your life, play this video back around and hear that, okay? This off. I'm going to start closing off this video here. And I'm just going to say, please do not worry about the expectations that others may place onto you for whatever area of your life that you are trying to incorporate change that you may have been vocal about. This year, I feel like needs to be, well, every year should be about you. But let's take 2022 into taking the time to fully dedicate time to yourself and whatever that means for you, right? And also not being too hard on yourself, because change is hard, period. Change is always hard because it's resistant to what's comfortable. And that's screaming for me, because I love to fall into like habits that are comfortable and sometimes just doing the bare minimum if I know it works for me. And if it works for you, it works for you. By the same token, you gotta change at some point. You gotta do something that's some point. At some point, if you see things that are not working for you, these habits are no longer working for you, and you're still doing them, how badly do you want to change? 'Cause I think, isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So we gotta do better. We gotta do different, and that's me included. So we got that. But also, what I will say is, have you realistically been putting yourself first? And have you been getting into your own way? Meaning, yes, don't be super hard on yourself, because things happen, things change, whatever. You cannot point for every single thing that happens in your life, because it's just you can't. But at the same token, are you the reason as to why your life is going the way it is? Are your habits the reason why your life is going down the spiral that it may be going down that you don't like? And if and take some time to think about that. And if it is, start looking at your life as a whole and start seeing where you need to incorporate change, small change, to make these bigger habits, so you can now be the person who you want to be, right? And just take it day by day, just like that. So, how do you envision your 2022, right? And whatever it is that you want for yourself, make a vision board. If you do not want to make a vision board, like a full board, what I have done is you can go on Pinterest and get a couple of pictures of what you want, and go inside like a editing app. I'll put a few that I use, like here or here, and copy paste the pictures into like a virtual vision board and put it on your phone. I got that tidbit from somebody on YouTube, and it works. It works because you see it. You're on your phone like 24/7 anyway. Everybody's on their phone like 24/7. So every time you unlock your phone, or you get it off the sleep mode, you're going to see that vision board. So it's going to place like a subconscious thing in your mind that this is what I'm working towards. This is what I want for myself for this year. So it's always going to be there. So if you don't want to go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, Target, whatever, and like get a board, you can just do that, and it is free 99. So whatever works for you, do that. But that could be a one good bit to that. So I know, like, for me, a few things that I do want to change is I do want to be like more feminine. And not to say that I don't see myself as a feminine person, but I mean in terms of like outward appearance, like, my looks, like my fashion, like doing smaller things, and also working on those characteristic traits that is more aligned with femininity, and making sure that I'm always in my feminine like mode-ish, I guess is how you would call it. And I also want to embrace my creativity more. I do have like an artistic side. I do not feed it as often as I should, but I have been, even prior to the new year, like drawing more often. I see how that like kind of calms my anxiety and calms my mind down. It kind of centers me, it grounds me. So it also could be like a form of meditation for myself. Meditation is not always just sitting in a circle and all the time. Like sometimes meditation is just doing what you like to do and tuning out the world for 10, 15, 20 minutes, hour, whatever you have. That's why I think everyone's so big on self-care. Self-care, depending on how you do it, can be your form of meditation. Because as long as it grounds you and it brings you back to your center, that is your form of meditation. Okay? I want to travel more. And I know Rona out here. I understand. But I do want to see more of the world. Like, you know, I just want to be more open to traveling, taking trips. You know, I just feel like, you know, I work and I'm not trying to just use the money that I work for just to pay bills and let that be it. I want to also be like for me too and for experiences that I go to. And the last thing that I do want to work on is I want to just be open overall to new things. And meaning that I don't know what type of opportunities will be out there for me, and I will never know what's out there for me unless I'm open to embracing something that is unfamiliar and the unknown. So being more open to certain things, because you never know what's out there for you. But that is it. That is the end of the video. I am closing it off here. If you are still here and you still listen to all of this, I hope my words helped you in some way, shape, or form. I hope you have a blessed, prosperous, abundant new year. I hope the changes that you want to make for yourself are seen into fruition. I hope you're able to manifest anything that you want to do. And I hope my advice helped you. And if it did, click that like button. Hit the subscribe, hit that bell, share this video, and I hope you have a good 2022. And remember that this year is about you, okay? I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.